All right. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight. Just a quick little announcement of housekeeping. Please do mute yourself until you are ready to speak. And once completed, please remember to mute yourself again so we don't have too much background noise. Also, this meeting is being recorded and is live streamed. So if you are unable to attend, it will be on the 3 Elementary School website for future viewing. Mr. Chairman?
Thank you. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I also want to point out one thing that Vivian has up on the screen right now is we have our new email address where people could ask, also chime in if they want. It's buildingforfuture@watertownmass.gov. It's up on the screen, and we will be monitoring that going forward. So thank you for getting that up there, Scott and Vivian. I'd like to ask Mr. Ports to call the roll, please.
Vivian, can you unmute the panelists all at once? Or otherwise they can do it individually?
They could do it individually.
Okay.
Yeah, just get ready to unmute themselves.
Yeah. So Vinnie Picciarelli?
Present.
Lindsay Mosca?
Present.
Edie Galston?
Present.
Heidi Perkins?
Present.
Lori Cable?
Here.
Steve Magoon? No?
Present.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
he's here.
Okay. Welcome. Welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Yeah. Tom Tracy? Nope. Paul Anastasi? Kelly Krolbaum?
Kelly's not coming this evening.
Okay.
Paul's here. Sorry, missed the mute.
Oh, Paul, you're here? Okay.
Yes.
Leo Patterson? Mark Sideris?
Yes, John Ports.
Present.
Okay. I'll turn it back over to Vivian.
Oh, what just happened?
You made it
All
bigger.
right. Thank you, everybody. And as chairman, I apologize, something fit to page so that everybody can see this. And please do, just a friendly reminder, please do mute yourself until you are ready to be spoken. There will be an opportunity for questions and answers, and we will be monitoring for the Q&A section, the email address buildingforfuture@watertown-ma.gov. And okay. So as the meeting is called to order at 6:02 p.m., all majority is attended.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is a summary of the meeting minutes, and we have 2 sets of minutes. And Vinnie has made a couple of amendments that he sent to the committee this afternoon. So can I get a motion on the minutes first of February 5th as amended?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, John.
Lindsay Mosca?
Yes.
Edie Galston?
Yes.
Heidi Perkins? Heidi?
Sorry. Yes.
Lori Cable?
Yes.
Steve Magoon?
Yes.
Is Tom here or he's not coming? Don't know.
I assume he's coming, but he's not here right now.
Okay. Paul Anastasi?
Yes.
Kelly's still not here. Leo's not here, I guess. Mark?
Yes, John.
Yes. And
Okay.
yes.
Now can I get a minutes of,
And
can I get a
I'm sorry,
motion for the
Vinnie,
minutes?
I didn't do Vinnie. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Okay,
You have the amendments. All right.
sorry.
All right.
Can I get a motion on the minutes of March 4th as amended?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? John, roll call, please.
Dee Dee Galston?
Yes.
Heidi Perkins?
Yes.
Lori Cable?
Yes.
Steve Magoon?
Yes.
Paul Anastasi?
Yes.
Lindsay Mosca,
Yes.
Vinnie Picciarelli,
Yes.
Mark Sideris.
Yes, John Ports.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda.
Next item on the agenda is we wanted to provide a little bit of an update on what we've been doing thus far. We'll update you first with the move management and then the construction progress, and we have a few illustrations and pictures to demonstrate all of the process and progress that has been happening. Currently, the existing FF&Es, all of the fixtures, furnitures, everything has been emptied out of Cuniff and has been relocated to the Cuniff West in Waltham. Also, we are currently working in Hosmer, working to do exactly the same. Portion of it has moved to the Phillips building, some of it to storage, and the rest has become internal moves to out of the Z-shaped building to the remainder of the Hosmer. For the construction phases, construction fences have been installed in both the Cuniff and the Hosmer schools. So if you drive by, you will notice that the fences are already up. Soil characterization testing test pits have been completed at the Cuniff Elementary School. These were done towards the back of the site, and the Hosmer is scheduled for the week of the 22nd. The abatement will begin first with the Cuniff School, scheduled for the 15th, followed by the Hosmer on the 22nd. And the most exciting part is the demolition. So demolition is set to start for Cuniff right after the 4th of July weekend on July 6th, and Hosmer will begin shortly after on July 13th. Here are some visuals. As you notice, these are up above our progress. Majority of the school is empty. We already have equipment on site. Fence is definitely up. And everything has been relocated either to the Cuniff West, the storage unit, or Phillips building. We do have a scheduled abutters meeting for Hosmer scheduled for tomorrow night, and we hope to see a good portion of the neighboring neighbors at that meeting, where we'll give a update similarly to what we did for Cuniff. I'd also like to welcome Scott to present final lead report for the elementary school projects.
We're just going to update a bit on the, if you'll actually go to the next slide, Vivian.
Sure.
The at the end of design, when we have 100% complete set of construction documents, we generate, or I should say our consultant generates a new energy model, and it's the energy model that will be submitted to LEED. In fact, we submitted it to LEED yesterday, representing not only the total projected energy use for the building, but also doing another final analysis on the solar power that's generated by our solar arrays. So it was good news on both Cuniff and Hosmer. On Cuniff, the PV production is anticipated at just over 560 kWh per year, and the building energy use is anticipated to be just below that at 558 kWh per year. A lot of people know the efficiency of a building by its EUI. As a reminder, that means energy use index. That's the entire amount of energy the building uses in a year divided by its square footage. And so for the Cuniff, we achieved a 23.1. That's very, very good. A lot of people who were involved in this process were surprised by that. Our energy modeling consultant was surprised at the performance of the building because they're independent of us and they analyze buildings all the time. They rarely see anything like this. And then our lead consultant, who's actually a national consultant out of California, was also very surprised in their review of this project. So very happy with what we were able to achieve for energy use index, and then certainly happy with regard to the amount of energy versus the solar array, the amount of power the solar array will produce. And then on the Hosmer, equally good news. The PV production anticipated at almost 938,000 kWh per year, building use at just under 937 kWh per year, and then a projected EUI on Hosmer of 22.4, even lower than the one on Cunniff. So all of that was super good news. We've been waiting for almost 18 months to get to this final point to see exactly what the modeling would say, and it was all good news. This is just the lead report. We'll make the lead report from the energy modeler available to all of the building committee, and then certainly make it available to the public for anyone who's interested. It's about a 40-page document for each project, the Cunniff and the Hosmer. But we want to point out that in the modeling that was done for the Cunniff and the Hosmer, it would be really easy to show that they're super efficient. For example, if you were to show that they were only operated 2 hours a day, it would be, that would obviously be an exaggeration, but the actual hours of use that you put into the model are critical because they allow you to evaluate its true energy use. And one of the things we wanted to point out is we were very conservative with those numbers to make absolutely certain that we were capturing all the time. So for example, the models on both Cunniff and Hosmer assume that on a weekday, the administration area is operational from 7 to 5. Areas like the cafeteria, library, learning commons operating from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Classrooms from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Gymnasium, we're assuming every weekday might go as late as 11 p.m. for community use every night. And then the kitchen in use from 7 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And then even on the weekends and holidays, we're assuming a full day use out of the gymnasium. And then even in the summertime, we're assuming that the building during summer session and school breaks, you can see we're still assuming that the building is going to be used on the weekdays. We're still assuming that classrooms will be used on some weekdays, and then spaces like the gymnasium, we're assuming will be used in the summer and on school breaks. So we're assuming a lot of use for the building in order to make sure that we capture all potential use and we don't exaggerate the model down or too low, if you will, for building energy use.
Vivian, we did have a question,
Right.
but you want to wait till the end?
I did notice the question. I was going to wait until.
Okay, that's fine. Let's wait till the end.
Sure.
And then just one last comment, and we'll talk more about this in the future. But as we've said before, zero net energy requires a lot of different things to happen and a lot of things to go very, very well and be managed very well. And so far, we've handled the items 4, 5, and 6, the building system design, the building envelope design, and then the solar panel PV array that's being put in place in its production. Over the next year for Cunniff, and then certainly over the next 2 years for Hosmer, you'll continually hear us talking about the ultimate building use, building operation, and occupant behavior, because those will become the next critical step in ensuring the buildings are zero net energy. For example, if every occupant of the building decided to plug something into an electrical outlet, clearly there's going to be a lot of energy consumption that we're not anticipating. Or if, for example, the operation of the building changed substantially, that can dramatically sway the energy model and even the way the building is used. Certainly if all of a sudden every space in the building was being occupied for 12-hour days every day of the week, that's going to have a significant impact. And the way the equipment in the building is utilized. So we're going to be talking a lot over the next 12 to 24 months about making sure that Lori has the support she needs, for example, with her facilities people and training to understand how to operate the building and monitor it and maintain it. And then we'll be talking about occupant behavior and then the usage of the building. So this is just one step. It was an important step, but there are many additional steps in making sure we get to zero net energy.
Excellent. Now, Scott, there was a question asked if you will be providing a illustration of the solar arrays anytime soon, given the new data and the energy production.
We can provide that. The location of the solar panels, if the question is in regard to the specific location of the solar panels, that has not changed since the last time we presented it, but we could certainly review that again at some point in the future.
Yeah, I think that is the question asked, and it might be beneficial. That I do have a hand raised. I believe John Ports. You had your hand up.
I did. That's right. Thank you. Well, two things. One, just, thanks to Scott and AI3 and all the colleagues to getting to this point. I mean, it's been a lot of work to do this. And as Scott says, there's, the process continues in terms of the zero net energy and lead process. So, but it's just want to thank them for that work that they've done. Oh, but on the lead, so you've turned in the material. So they will make the determination of whether we reach the gold standard? That was what our hope was, right?
Sure. Well, what we do at this point is we make a design submittal. And so LEED considers this project only sort of 50% complete. There are a lot of things that have to be done correctly during construction.
Yeah.
We get a lot of product submittals during construction that have to be verified. So the credits that we can submit for now without knowing what's going to happen yet in construction, we go ahead and submit for, and they start reviewing. It's not, we don't submit a full LEED scorecard. So it's not as if they see something saying we're going for 60 points or we're going for 70 points. We simply submit the credits that we have verification on thus far.
Okay.
And they begin to start verifying those credits.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that clarification. Thanks.
Anybody else from the school building committee have a question before I go to the audience? No? Pat, you had your hand up. I know the question asked was by you, but I'm going to allow you to speak one more time to see if you have any other questions. Pat?
Her question is, people were wondering why the arrays weren't shown. And I think Scott just answered that. We've been showing them all along, and we can show them again
Okay.
at
they're
our
the
next
same.
meeting. Pat?
They're the same then.
Yes, they are.
Okay, I understood that the roof was the same. I didn't understand that the arrays were.
Yes, all of the arrays are what we've been shown to date.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no further questions, I'm going to proceed to the next slide.
I just want to make a comment and say again, like John, thank you to the team for getting us to this point. And I think it's pretty exciting news that we're, we continue to meet the goals that we've set as a committee and exceed them in some cases, in these cases. And while we're only part way there, it's important to note that, we continue to ask for these things and we continue to get the information that's needed to get to the goals that we've set as a committee. And I think, the first three items on the list are going to be the next challenge, and we're going to have to work together to make sure, as Scott stated, that we are able to get building operations the way they need to be. So thank you again. And this is pretty exciting news.
Well, I would just add that it's fantastic that the committee has remained so committed to this process and committed to net zero. We registered the buildings today with several different net zero organizations nationally, not all of which are national organizations. And I would point out that right now in Massachusetts, there are only 3 school projects registered for potential net zero. And the 2 elementary schools are 2 of the 3. And the 3rd project is only a net zero emerging project, which means they're just trying to establish a goal and find a way to get there, but no clear path to get there. So right now, the 2 elementary schools are literally the only 2 school projects in the Commonwealth registered with verification that they actually have the alternative energy to power the entire building.
Excellent. Before we proceed, Superintendent Dee Dee Galston has her hand up. Dee Dee, I'm going to ask for you.
All I wanted to add was this is exceedingly exciting for the community, but it's equally as exciting for our students. To be in buildings that are at this level is going to teach them life lessons that they're going to carry with them forever. So, and I know we've talked about that in depth. Scott's highlighted the fact that this is, building as teacher, but for sure it's like no other for our kids and really helping them to see what their future is going to be like. So I appreciate that so much from the educational perspective.
Great. Thank you. If no other comments or questions, I'm going to proceed to the next slide.
This is just a brief commentary, but during this point of the construction process, we spend a lot of time, the design team spend a lot of time reviewing product submittals. And as I think Kelly and Leo have pointed out a number of times, we have some products that were specified for the projects that will ultimately be critical to their aesthetics, to their performance, et cetera. And so we're really just reporting that thus far, it appears that the selected contractor is submitting to us all of the specified products, meaning he's not attempting to make any substitutions for any key products, and he's providing us what the buildings were designed around. For example, we had designed the exterior materials that look like wood around the Prodema or Parklex product. They're the same product, they're owned by the same company. And those are the ones that are being submitted by the contractor already. And we had specified Alucobond Plus for exterior metal on the building, also a very high quality manufacturer, and that's what they're submitting. We had specified EFCO windows, again, as a really high standard of quality, and that's what we're getting for a submittal. So we just wanted to comment that that process seems to be going very well so far. And also point out that one of the keys to any construction project is to get the structural shop drawings and the structural steel on the site as quickly as possible. And the general contractor has already engaged the company that'll do that. And we're already seeing submittal items from them. So the process is going very quickly, which is very good news.
At this time, these are the updates that we wanted to present. We'll take a moment to see if there's any other discussions or other business that needs to be brought up. Chairman?
I don't have anything at this point other than, it's great to see fences up and construction is going to move very quickly from here. The only thing I'm going to suggest, I'm going to ask the team at our next meeting, I would like you to bring a representative from the GC to the meeting to introduce themselves, to the community,
Absolutely.
to the committee. I think that would be important so that we can put a face to the project. That's just my only
Absolutely.
comment.
No, our intent for next meeting, we will make sure to have the general contractor, and that way they can introduce themselves and the team as well. And if need be, to be in attendance to these meetings as well. We also would like, if with your permission, Chairman, to start for next meeting, plan to review the budget, since we already did have the bids. And there are some bid savings and what that means for our overall budget. Review the line items, and moving forward for all of these meetings on a monthly basis, we would like to present to the committee kind of a executive level summary that includes schedule, photos, as well as cost.
That's exactly the right path that we should be going down. You did send me some examples of how you were going to present it, and I think it's clear, it's understandable, and I think it's going to benefit the committee as we move forward with where we are when it stands to budget, and we have, in case we have to make decisions that were not included in the project.
Perfect.
Let's
Is
open it
there-
up to the public for any questions at this point. We'll give them a minute or two.
Absolutely. For those of you joining us on Zoom, please, if you are joining via Zoom, please use the Q&A button to ask questions and raise your hand if you don't want to type and instead want to ask a question. Otherwise, also for those of you joining us via phone, please ask questions using Building for Future at watertown-ma.gov. I do have a few hand raises from the panelists.
Okay, let's go with
First is
let's go with the panelists.
Superintendent.
You got to unmute.
You're muted, Dee Dee.
You think by
Okay,
now.
start again.
I will start again. So I'd like to make a request from the school building committee to consider just writing a letter of recognition to the teachers for all of the work that they did to move out of the buildings. It was monumental, more than I really actually would have imagined. And I think it would be a nice gesture from the school building committee just to send a letter of appreciation from the group.
More than happy to do that.
Great. Thank you.
Lori Cable, you also have your hand up.
Yeah, I'd like to kind of second what Dee Dee said, but also do it for some of the other members, the maintenance, the custodial team, IT, food service. I was hoping maybe, Mark, in one of these upcoming meetings, maybe giving a brief idea of all the planning that wasn't a part of this, but had to be done in order to make this happen. The Phillips move, what we're doing in the kind of West, all the construction projects were happening, all the IT that's going in. There has been millions of dollars and millions of hours that have gone in that I don't think everyone's aware of. And I think that would be good to let everybody know.
Sure.
John Ports, you also have your hand up.
Yeah, just kind of related to the kind of, I would be interested in, and others on the building committee might also, I've not been inside the building. I've seen the kind of West. And so, I mean, there may be building committee people that like to do that. And I suspect some on the school committee as well. So, you know, it's not an immediate thing, but at some point, if we could try to coordinate that, I think that would be, I'd like to do that. Just get a little tour.
Dee Dee's raising her hand.
No, I can obviously, I meant, if you couldn't read my lips, I said I could coordinate that if you want. I have the keys to kind of West and be happy to do that now that school is over.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll have to, I would like to have, I'd even like to invite the town council. So I think it would be the council, the school building committee. I don't want to open, we actually can't do that because we're technically not supposed to have more than 10 people, but we can do it in shifts.
Yes, and that's actually safer, and we've done that at the Kenneth West for the staff. We just created a schedule, people signed up,
Okay.
and then we rotated them through.
Yeah.
You will be amazed at how good it looks, and that definitely was a lot of the work of Lori's team. It's fantastic. So
Well, it's greatly appreciated because anybody that goes in now won't know what it was then and what it is now. So, I mean, I think it's a great idea, and I think I would like to invite the council and the
Mhm.
school committee as well as the building committee, whoever's interested. So, we'll coordinate that.
Great. Thank you.
Any other comments or topic of discussion before I go to the public? There is one more hand, Lindsay.
There we go. I just wanted to find out, I know that Christy is trying to ask us some questions about the website for the elementary schools project, and
No, that's not the elementary schools.
oh, that
That's-
one's not elementary, that's high
yeah,
school.
and she and I
Okay, I
have figured that
apologize.
out today.
Okay, never mind. I get confused to who's who. Thank you. I'm all set.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Lori, you had your hand up again.
Yeah, sorry, I have a bad internet connection, but if we can wait just a little bit longer until we get some more of the work done in kind of West, at least the kitchen, before we start doing tours, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I would suggest we probably try to do it sometime in early to mid-August so that we, you know, just before it gets ready to open.
Sounds like a good plan. I don't see any other hands up from the school building committee. At the moment, I do not have any questions from the public either, Chairman.
Okay.
So I'm going to proceed to the next slide, which is the upcoming meetings. I know that it is stating to be determined since our July meeting falls on the July 1st, right before the 4th of July weekend. But as an upcoming meeting tomorrow night, we do have the Hosmer Abutters Community Forum.
Yeah, and other than that, we're going to be working to figure out what the best dates to meet in July and August are going to be. Because we have people on vacation, we have a number of things that we have to coordinate. So we will forward that to the committee as soon as we come up with some potential dates.
Okay. Thank you. Before I proceed to the next slide, is there any questions or comments from the school building committee? I don't see any hand raises, so I'll proceed.
Is there anyone else on the committee or on the general public that wants to make a statement or a comment or a question? I don't see anyone, so can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Heidi Perkins,
Yes.
Lori Cable,
Yes.
Steve Magoon,
Yes.
Tom Tracy. No, it's not here.
Yeah, he's there.
He is on the line, but I believe he is unable to call in as to speak, but he is on the meeting.
Okay. Paul Anastasi,
Yes.
Dee Dee Galston,
yes.
Lindsay Mosca,
Yes.
Vinnie Picciarelli,
Yes.
Mark Sideris.
Yes, John Ports.
Yes.
Thanks to all who attended, and I appreciate it. And those that would like to participate tomorrow night, you're welcome to do that. But this is not a real building committee meeting. It's Scott and Vivian will start going over the construction. So thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
night.
everybody. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Thank you.